Today's sidebar starts with a note of gratitude. I want to thank the culture for making my interview with Dr. Iyanla Vanzant one of the most popular and actively engaged content offerings the Griot has produced. So before I tell you my thoughts, let's replay the clip that had some of y'all deep into your feelings. I do want you to speak, Iyanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if
a bus
he owns
driver?
the bus? If he owns
No.
it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Now let's address the response to the interview and what some of y'all are calling a backlash. So let me be clear. First, I am a professional disruptor. So backlash is my business. And I will always take it on the chin for the sake of advancing the work, conversation, or movement. So know that I am completely unfazed by the onslaught of nasty comments, wishing me a sad, lonely, bitter existence until my untimely death. Now, that is some weird energy to be wishing onto a black woman, especially one who has dedicated her life to the liberation of black folk. But, whatever, I guess, go off. See, I wanted to talk about how do we close the gap between black women who do show up in a so-called masculine posture, those of us that are providing and building and protecting due to circumstances that we might feel make us feel that if we don't do it for ourselves, we will have to go without the resources and protections we need to feel safe in this world. But Dr. Iyanla went in a different direction. She asked me a personal question. And y'all know I have been extremely transparent about the fact that my life choices and my chosen lifestyle are far outside of the norm. So when I said that I would date the bus owner, a lot of y'all heard something different. Some of you heard the following: bus drivers are whack. Bus drivers are broke. Oh, and I'm too good for a bus driver. The only thing is, y'all made that part up. See, I said what I said. But then some of y'all started talking about salaries and hourly wages, pensions and benefits. And that's wild because I was never talking about money at all. I was talking about black ownership, but some of y'all made it about money. I'm talking about ownership, black enterprise and entrepreneurship, because really I am talking about black liberation. And if you read my book, you'll understand why. So I'm standing 10 toes down on that position, and I don't really care if you're hurt or offended by it. And since some of y'all are already big mad, let me go ahead and make you incensed. So out of the 50,000 plus comments posted on social, I only saw a handful that even considered the possibility of a bus owner being a more aspirational position and recognizing that I am actually speaking and pouring into the ascension of black men when I said what I said. But see, no, some of y'all were too busy naming and shaming me personally and black women in general as undesirable, gold diggers, and much worse. Now, I suspect that some of y'all are the same men that were bringing home C's and D's on your report cards, only to then be coddled by parents that said, well, that's okay, as long as you're doing your best. Well, listen, I love and believe in the excellence of black men. So no, my dear, C's and D's or any other form of mediocrity is not okay. No, I will not create a soft place for you or anybody that I love to fall comfortably into the bigotry of low expectations. So I'm going to say one more time, there's absolutely nothing wrong with driving a bus. My mother Gloria drove one for years. But could it be that black America has been sold a narrative of average, regular, and typical being good enough for us? Well, see, that's called white supremacy. And in this case, it takes the form of conditioning black Americans to happily accept being a permanent American underclass. But see, because I know the truth about black folk in America, no, average is not and will never be good enough for me. And the gag is, I don't think it's good enough for you either.
Preach, my sister. Go ahead, Jordan.
So I agree on this aspect about, I mean, our black community, especially our black men. We definitely got to do better. You know, we do take the low ways, and we do this like we don't care to make too much money. And the thing about that, she was talking about the resources part of, wanting a man. You know, in the black community, we lack the resources of meaning buying land or owning some part of land, or owning a building or owning a house or something like that. You know, the black men are lacking of those resources. I agree with that aspect. For her, this is for her. I think how old is she? She's like 39, right?
Yeah, about I think she's 40.
Yeah. She's 40.
40. So
and she looks 40.
Yeah, like I said, she makes it like one of mid six figures, and she's not an average woman. You know, she's up there with with people in the area that makes top six, top figures up to 6 or 7 figures, all that type of stuff. With her, it's like she's not really, she wasn't really like getting on the average market, because average people is average money. To me, with her, she's still single. It's like, why can't you find a man that's in your bracket, in your high salary range? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like you've been dating for so long with that type of stuff. I don't know, maybe you be entitled or what you want and everything. Matter of fact, what she was on not just the Breakfast Club, not yesterday, but like a month or two ago, and she was saying like, hey, if you want me, you gotta make enough to. I think she said you gotta make enough to make me quit. You gotta, if you want to take care of me, you gotta pay all the bills, and I'll be that feminine woman. I'll cook, I'll clean, I'll do all that type of stuff. But if you're like 50-50, you're not gonna get 50-50 ways. And she said that back, I think a month ago. And then, like I saw earlier, DJ Envy and Eboni, they had a heated debate on the Breakfast Club this morning. I'm talking about, how the average DJ Envy talking about how the average man, is used to our world. Keep our guns clean, take out the trash, make sure our lights and stuff like that. Just regular people jobs, And to me, DJ Envy took Eboni point to a different way on that type of stuff. And that's why it's very true. It's trending to talk about right now. But yeah, I would say this in our black community, we need to do better. We need to get more resources. We need to have more resources. Which is owning land, owning a house, owning a building. Just build that up. So, because that's how Eboni sees us in our black community. She wants us better for our black community. That's all she was just talking about. In our black community, they take it out of proportion. And that's how our black community act. But we need to change our mindset so we can do better, we can be better. That's my take.
Remember, this is the thing I mentioned on the other day when we did the podcast about, can a woman push a man to the next level? That's pretty much what she was doing. She was probably pushing the man in the black community to the next level and say, hey, we need to level up. We need to start thinking higher and better of ourselves, because right now we only think of ourselves less than they actually think. We pretty much see ourselves as second class instead of seeing ourselves as first class. Now, on an aspect, I think the black community overreacted on her comment she made about dating a bus driver. She pretty much, which is a fact. She stated like, hey, she never missed this situation when it came to a man resource. She said, hey, I don't want to date a man that's a bus driver. I want to date a man that's trying to own the bus driver company. That's her preference. We cannot get upset at somebody because of their own preference. That's the preference she wants. Now, hey, if you're not that guy, don't get upset. Hey, you're just not the woman for me. Now, she is attractive and she is a black woman. I think that's why a lot of black men got upset. Like, oh, you saying you're not gonna date a bus driver? No, she just say for her, she don't want to date a bus driver. She want to date a person that's able to own the company. His mindset is different. He don't see himself as second class. He see himself as first class. And to me, I think that's kudos. And not only that, I think at this point, I think black women should have a standard. And I know a lot of men go like, oh, we're only stepping for the black woman. No, because if a black man can have standards, why cannot a black woman have standards? That's her standard. You want to come to her DM, you want to date her out, you want to take her to a nice restaurant. hey, you got to make sure you leveled up. If you're not leveled up, she ain't the woman for you. And that, like they always say, there's enough women out here that's gonna be fit for your program. She probably not the woman that's gonna fit for your program. And I like that. And I like that, but I like the aspect of her literally showing like no remorse, because she pretty much went in a nice, calm way, and her face was like stone cold steel. She showed like pretty much no emotion. But if you ask me deep down inside, I know she was hurt about the comments people was making, because it was not just only men, it was women as well. A lot of women was calling her mammy, a lot of women was calling her the B, a lot of women calling her HOE. So at the end of the day, she may take it like, hey, this is my job, but she's still human and she's still a woman. So you can tell that she was hurt by it. But at the end of the day, some questions you don't have to answer. That's my take.
Brothers, I love y'all take on it, and I want you to see where I'm coming from this. I agree and I disagree. Now, listen to this point. She's talking about the advancement of the liberation of black people. Not all black people are going to be bus owners. Some people are going to be janitors. Some people are going to be ditch diggers. Now, the question that kills me is just the question that we have within our own community. We have this level up mentality and this aspiration, which we should have. But the whole black community is not going to be entrepreneurs, business owners, CEOs, or principals, or anything at high level. It's the same thing that goes for the Hispanic community and for the white community. I've been to rural towns in Alabama, Mississippi, in Kentucky, and even West Virginia. I've met a lot of white people who are not CEOs. I met a lot of white people who drive bad pickup trucks. The question I'm saying is this. Yes, she deserves to have a preference. That's what she wants. But here's the $1 million question. Why haven't nobody married you yet? You're a 6-figure earner. Why have no man run to come get you? Why haven't all the black millionaires there? You know, the percentage of black male millionaires is very, very small. I do agree with women can have a standard, men can have a standard, but please, for heaven's sake, we can't think that all regular people are going to level up. That's not everybody's job. That's not everybody's aspiration. Some people's aspiration is to go work at Jiffy Lube, change oil, and come home, and they'll love their job. Some people have the IQ of Albert Einstein, but wants to work at a fishing dock. We know this, and this is the point that it is. When she said it did come off a little bit malicious, I don't think she intentionally meant to do that, but she's a TV person, and we all know this. And I even give you a hook. Lonnie Love is in the same realm as she is. Lonnie Love is even bigger. She dated a broke white man. So can anybody explain that to me? No, nobody can explain that to me, right? Gabrielle Sobier, who's a movie star, she also dating a broke white man. None of these guys that we're talking about have more money than her. So what's the conversation about black men for? When your counterparts who make just as much money as you is dating outside their race who have no money. Make it make sense.
Your final thoughts? Any final thoughts, Jordan?
Also, I don't know if you heard a part of like, and then when she was at the beginning when she was interviewed out that Zach, she did dated outside her race as well. I don't know if y'all guys caught that too. So I'm just saying, like I said. So my thing is like if you're not happy with a black man, if you the best they like I say, you say you had dated other races before. I don't know if it's white or Latino. It's like why haven't that had taken you to that? So. I'm just saying, like I said, you do have your preference, but can you get the man you want? That's in your preference. That's my final take on it.
Yeah, but by the end of the day, it's her preference, so that's why I cannot really go in on her because I get the concept of it because it's her preference. And remember, she asked her a personal question. Remember, it was personal. It wasn't for the general public. You asking a one-on-one question. So if you ask me something like, "Hey, what was my like?" I'm gonna tell you what I like. Now it's up to you if you're gonna dislike it, but that's my like. And this is why it's so important to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click off. We do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Not only that, remember guys, go on the KL Culture Radio community tab. In the KL Culture Radio community tab, there's Spencer Hakeem new book and also the KL Culture Radio t-shirt. Come over there and support the platform. Not only that, shout out to all the new subscribers, shout out to all the new listeners, and shout out to the people that are starting to listen to us and download our content. We really do greatly appreciate it. And make sure to come on one of our lives, because we do have a dope time. Thank you for tuning in KL Culture Radio. We over and out.
Peace.
Peace.